So the lights are off in the War Report office. We are holed up here, uh, scared to look outside, man. There's a lot of doom and gloom happening out there. Um, this is
There's
the war. This is the War Report, man. I'm your host Cyrus, joined by Quan. This is a show where we talk about NXT and AEW. Um, apparently, the way that the street's been talking, there's only going to be one show to talk about in the next coming months. We will be talking about a corpse.
I'm in mourning. I don't know about you. Very somber day for me.
Yeah, man. When I woke up today and I went outside to take the trash out. I just like wept for the loss of NXT.
Oh man.
I guess we can. How was your weekend, or whatever happened in the past, like the last time since we recorded?
So, remember how I told you last week? You're lucky you weren't online for any internet discourse.
Oh, I am so happy.
Let me tell you. I came here to double down. This internet discourse, it's a 2-pack of ass.
Yeah, man. I seeing how this weekend went. Um, I'm glad I wasn't really out here, man. I was talking. I'll be on the Black Variant podcast this week. Because I went to go see Suicide Squad. So I'll be talking about that.
Did you see it in theaters?
Yes, I saw it in Dolby.
Oh, I watched it. I watched it at home. Good movie.
My ears was ringing, buddy.
Mm-hmm.
I was talking to them, and they were just like, well, update on the Twitter account. I don't know if people like really care or not. I've been surprisingly communication between me and content protection at umg.com. They've been replying back and forth and stuff like that, and I think the last email I got was just like, nah, we got you. Basically what they said to me. And I was just like,
bro, the clip you posted that got you like out of here was like literally a 1 second worth of audio.
Yeah.
It wasn't even music playing.
Yeah, for real. So I was just like, I made like my last email to them was basically like, so my shit clipped or not? Like that was really the gist of the email. And if I were to come back, it's sure as hell not gonna be this week. It's not gonna be next week either. I'm living in bliss right now. What I don't like is that I am living in bliss. I mean, like in ignorance to the rest of the world, because I didn't know there was the Uber Eats strike, and I would have stayed solidarity with all my people and walked to McDonald's and not order the sweetie meal.
You want to go see Sweetie?
I ordered the sweetie meal from Uber Eats, but
we getting a review?
It's my first time. It's the first time I ever ate a Big Mac.
I've never had a Big Mac in my life.
It is terrible.
Is it?
It is terrible.
I've never had one before.
It's probably one of the worst tasting things I like. Like I'm not a big fan of the Whopper.
Whopper, sure.
So, this being McDonald's signature burger, when the patty is thin as like shit as a belt, and it's tiny, and they load it up with lettuce. I don't know how I feel about Big Mac sauce. I honestly I took like 2 bites and then I like stopped. I was just like, oh, I'm not gonna force myself to eat this meal. I'm not that bad. I'm not that much of a fan of Sweetie, bro. I really wish they would have just let her put chili on the goddamn quarter pounder or some shit. Like that shit would have been hard. Much better than the goddamn Big Mac. But it was okay. And then like it just came with nuggets and like it was some regular shit. Like it wasn't that crazy. But yeah, I'm glad not to see wrestling discourse, but I hate that I'm not in the know of the world. So that's the bittersweet thing going on right now. So we'll see how I adjust when I come back. Let's get into in the trenches. So there's a lot of casualties on the battlefield. A lot of NXT releases last Friday during like the midpoint of SmackDown, which I thought was like so weird. And then everybody was just like, I don't I don't know if I could continue watching SmackDown, man. This is hurting my heart. And I was like, come on, guys, like either stop watching the show or like continue watching the show. And despite everybody being like fuck WWE for that whole 30 minutes, people kept watching SmackDown.
You know how I go.
What the fuck?
I will say that as I was watching SmackDown and the releases started to come in, it was very distracting and hard for me to watch SmackDown. Not because I was like upset or anything. I was just like, oh, I had my eyes were just glued to the timeline just in case somebody else got released. Because it was like it wasn't all at once. The names were coming in like a fucking NBA draft, and it was just like every 2 minutes or every like 5 minutes, another name getting called. So I'm looking at my phone instead of watching the show. So it just completely took me out the show, unfortunately. And because SmackDown is a fun show. That episode is fine. And I've been taking notes on the weekly shows for for reasons. And it's just unfortunate. Like overall about the releases, I think we can just get into it. Like it sucks seeing people lose their jobs. It's never anything I want to cheer about unless they're like a piece of shit. Then I don't care. But like
the first one on the list is one of them. So
wait, who's piece of shit? What are we talking about?
Bobby Fish.
Oh yeah, get that nigga out of here, bro. Yeah, he can go. R.I.P. Rest in peace. You won't be missed. All that. But yeah, outside of Bobby Fish, everybody else on that list, from what I know, aren't the pieces of shit. They haven't showed me yet. So
let's read it off, and then we'll get into how we feel about it, and I guess the public reaction. I guess because honestly, since Friday, I knew that we just had to talk about this. But I was just like, okay, but like, how in depth do we need to go? Because I don't really feel like there's much like meat on this bone in terms of like really a story. But everybody's just like, oh, this can read into so many other things, going insane hyperbole and stuff like that. And I'm just like, I don't care this much about it. Like, I never thought that reading this deep into it. So, let's see how it goes. So, the people released are Bobby Fish, Bronson Reed, Jake Atlas, Ari Sterling, Kona Reeves, Leon Ruff, Stephon Smith, Tyler Russ. I don't know how to pronounce his name. I'm going to try my best. Zachariah?
Zachariah? I guess it's Zachariah with an E. Okay. Did they misspell it? I don't know.
Zachariah Smith, Asher Hale, Giant Zanzier. I don't know.
Did he ever show up on TV? That's a cool name.
We'll get into that. And then Mercedes Martinez. So I'll say right now, I think Bronson Reed is I think that's the most shocking release. I think that is the one that sucks. That and Mercedes Martinez, I think these are the two that suck the most. Terrible. I would honestly, like, I think Mercedes Martinez, even if she couldn't like really find, if they weren't going to really like use her on TV or anything crazy like that, I definitely think she could have been in like kind of like a Drew Gulak role where it was just like, yeah, she could really help people just get better. That's it. Like, she doesn't have to be on TV or anything like that. And they can still offer her that spot. Just give her a different contract, So we'll see. And same for Jake Atlas as well. Like, they could have been like great coaches or great people to just train with, Bronson Reed, we seen the reports and everything about what he was doing on SmackDown, doing dark matches, kind of just strutting his stuff, and we all thought that he was going to get called up for the most part. And I kind of think that for his dark matches, this is not like a foreshadowing or like a deeper, like, you don't have to look at, like, this is just purely me just saying, I don't think he possibly did not really capture. Does it need to be Vince or anybody in the, like, maybe they just didn't really see it for him. They were just
Mm.
like, I think we can go without. And then, we get him back on NXT, and people like to say that, oh, Bronson Reed, he was just North American champion. Motherfucker, can you look how fast NXT has moved past that since he's like been gone? Like, um, normally when people kind of get called up out of the blue, there is that sort of just like, oh shit, like, we have to recover. They didn't, we had to recover, like similar to like losing Karrion Cross. Like they're like trying to pivot really, really fast. But when Bronson Reed left, they were just like, oh, we got it.
Yeah,
We
because
got it.
this is the
We got it.
Cyrus. This is the thing, though. Like, remember, like a couple months ago, we were complaining about the NXT mid card being way too fucking,
Yes, that.
too crowded. So losing Bronson Reed wasn't a big deal because they need to get rid of some guys in that mid card.
Yeah, they like
And
people absolutely needed to go up. And then when Bronson Reed finally left, they were just like, oh, like we can finally get like, some people going.
mm,
So we get Bronson Reed coming back facing Adam Cole for whatever fucking reason, kind of like after he lost to Adam Cole, or if he would have beaten Adam Cole, which fucking that would happen, that just wouldn't serve the story well. But like, what was he gonna do? There was nothing for him on it. Like NXT kind of moved right past him as soon as he left. Like it
yeah.
was like a clean. Not saying like Bronson didn't have like an impact or anything, but it was just like they moved on, and there was like really nothing for him to do. And with all these budget cuts and stuff like that, like you know, no one's safe. Yeah. Uh, with the budget cuts, you can't pay some of these motherfuckers to just sit at home. And from a lot of the things I've been seeing, y'all don't want them to pay a lot of the people that are just sitting at home or not on NXT TV. They're talent hoarding, right? I'm not saying like, as like the serve you right, because people got fired and that's absolutely terrible. But you guys kind of made the complaint that they have too much talent. And now they're gonna have less talent. And people are saying that, oh, you know, is NXT dead? Motherfucker. A lot of these dudes on this list only showed up on NXT once, and some of them not at all.
At all. You know, people were, it's damn near becoming a meme at this point. NXT is dead type of deal.
Yeah.
And I watched NXT tonight and felt like NXT to me. Didn't feel much.
Uh,
Didn't feel much different.
felt
I don't.
very felt very alive.
Actually, this episode is better than the last 2 weeks easily.
Oh yeah.
100%.
We're not gonna acknowledge the sci-fi episode.
That's non-canon.
Yeah, non-canon. Those shits didn't happen. And my thing is that like, you know, I just kept seeing that NXT is dead, and WWE is gonna sell. WWE is in a bad way, and then we'll get into the next like report thing just in a moment. But a lot of these people weren't fixtures on the show. So how is the car gonna stop moving with these tires that they not using? Like these motherfuckers, they have. It's not like an Adam Cole got a release. It's not like a Kyle O'Reilly. Like anybody that is like slotted for NXT Takeover, it's not like those people got released in bulk, you know.
Yeah.
And then I saw earlier today, it was just like, oh man, NXT needs to do a fresh reset, blah blah blah, this and that. And I was just like, 2 weeks before the pay per view. Also, because they fired people that have probably shown up on TV 7 times in the past like 5 years.
Combined.
Like for real. And like not saying that Bronson Reed was not a like an asset, but NXT has already like they moved past him pretty fucking quick.
Yeah.
Like they were ready for a Bronson to go up.
I was ready for Bronson to go up.
Shit, when we heard he was having,
Mhm.
we're all excited for him to go up. I get it. I know it sucks when these guys, like people that you're a fan of, lose their job, but I don't see the kind of overreaction that this was like kind of getting throughout the week, and I don't think what is it, the Bray Wyatt release that happened kind of just a couple of days before, kind of helping the situation. Um, kind of is what it is. Also, like the Vince statement where he was just like, "This shit, y'all need niggas, have them."
That was some interesting timing. I ain't even gonna lie.
Yeah, hey,
I don't know if that was playing like
I
that, if he's foreshadowing,
I
but
don't I don't think that was a coincidence.
hey,
And
um,
there's just a lot of things to cover in this like kind of just like blanket of releases. So we have heard that NXT is going to be kind of reformatting its kind of like, well, first things first, NXT has always been developmental.
talk about it.
Whether people got called up or not, it was always developmental. I see a lot of people saying like, "Oh, NXT is not good because uh, you know, Tommaso Ciampa and Johnny Gargano didn't want to get called up." Let me say this. Ciampa is the only one that said he didn't want to get called up. And it wasn't just like, "Oh, you call me up, I retire." He was legitimately concerned for his health. Are we gonna shit on the dude that was kind of just worried about it? Like he said, like if I was on the road, I don't think I would be able to recover as well as I am in NXT. I think people are really just, just remembering that statement, but not why it was said. Um, and Johnny Gargano, he was basically saying like I'm NXT like for life, but it was just like, motherfucker, if he got the call, it's happening. And I definitely think that the extra time that he had on NXT definitely benefited to his character. And it's going to give him like much stronger legs when he finally gets called up. Um, so NXT developmental process, it's going to be more of a motherfucker, you better be ready or you getting clipped. So are we I like you guys not you see people talk about like the talent hoarding thing and shit like that, and it's just like they're really just trimming the fat because there's a lot of people that they have in those performance centers that are like they've been there for like 5-6 years and they're still not ready to go. Something's not clicking.
Yeah,
It might be time to get a new profession, and that's okay. Not and that's okay. And they could always go back into the indies and get their legs and come back stronger if
we've seen it.
possible.
We've seen it happen plenty of times.
Like
Plenty of
guys,
times.
like yo, I always say it all the time. I only been watching for like half a decade now. You motherfuckers that's been in this shit for life, y'all act like y'all ain't never seen this shit before. Y'all act like history never done repeat itself before.
Especially in NXT, where we've seen them have resets. Every couple of years they have a reset. You know what it is this time though? This is the first time they've had like a reset or like a culture change with a quote unquote adversary. You know what I mean? This is the first
Yeah,
time where I think this is where I think the fake little war they had with AEW is gonna hurt them because
and it's on, and this war is only being like fueled by these journalists, these figureheads,
yep.
like I I honestly never thought I would see this kind of shit in wrestling where people are literally fear mongering.
I don't
What
think
the fuck?
You know what's crazy? I don't think that's a Twitter journalism. I don't think that's a wrestling journalism. I think that's like a social media type. It's recently these past couple years, I feel like fear mongering in headlines has been like
Yeah,
at an abundance
I
compared
would
to
agree.
like, I mean, if you want to talk about, you know, vaccinations or, you know, uh, hell, politics in general is a lot of fear mongering from both sides. It's
Well, but
just
no, like I get it, but like I never thought I would see it in wrestling.
why not? I did.
Oh, I was about to say I thought people would be a lot smarter, but
Wrestling fans. Yeah, all right.
I
Not War Report listeners. I'm talking about the other ones.
I am a fool for believing in the American people, and that's where I should have reevaluated. Um, I frequent Instagram, and I tell you right now, I swear to God, go on Instagram right now, pick any NXT WWE NXT post, pick any WWE post, any WWE on Fox post. You gonna release them?
I
Watch
told bro.
watch they get released in 3 weeks, dog. Any, especially for the breakout tournament stuff.
That's how
Well,
I did see those.
it looks like they're all fighting for their job. Ha ha ha!
Bro, I told you it's a meme already. They turned it into a meme. That's all it
that
is.
is so
It's a meme.
weird. Is that now? Even if you're not really rocking with NXT or anything like that, but isn't that weird for people to be making a meme about people losing their job?
Well,
Like
the problem here is that you're looking at Instagram comments, and Instagram comics for any big
but they're
account
doing, but
is
they're doing it on,
garbage.
they're doing it on Twitter too. I saw it on Twitter.
Yeah.
It's a weird sort of thing. And then back to like NXT formatting, like it's definitely going to be more, just from what we've heard and what's rumored, is that like they're definitely going to really focus on getting people called up. Like a lot of that, like stay, like Johnny Gargano staying as long as he did, that's not happening again. And I remember reading a Triple H interview where he was just like, okay, people say that they want to get into NXT, but it sucks because the people in NXT will eventually leave.
Yeah.
And then we get this era of your Adam Cole, your Johnny Gargano, these people that really linger and stay around. And now people are just like, man, what the fuck? You got to get these motherfuckers out of here. And then, NXT always being more or less developmental, like it's it's never stopped being that, guys. It's never stopped being developmental. No matter what anybody, it never stopped being developmental. Uh so now I guess like Triple H is just kind of just like, damn if you do, damn if you don't. Vince, fucking take them. Or if Vince just says like, man, fuck it, I ain't need your permission. Uh it is what it is. And there's the report coming out. Hey man, a lot of these motherfuckers don't have sources, man. I really don't know where the fuck they're reading this shit from. I swear that dog, it sounds like it is right out of Jim Cornette fantasy or Hulk Hogan diary. Uh what is it? Right out of the Death of WCW book. No more vanilla midgets. Like who's still calling people, who's still saying that these days? Who's backstage still saying that kind of shit? What else? It was like no vanilla midgets, no,
No midgets, and no one under over 30.
yeah, no one over 30. What? Really? You come on, you guys really believe in that?
And then look at the main event of Takeover. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like
Actually, I think pretty much damn near everybody on Takeover cars 30 at this point, if I'm not mistaken. At least.
I I would like to believe that all the listeners of the War Report are smart, like-minded people, and then can see
Of course
through
they
this,
are.
like can see through this cap, because people on the internet are saying one thing. Motherfucker, look at the product and they're doing something completely different. And you know, the when the draft come up, remember the conversation that people were having about Money in the Bank being full of old people. Everybody on the roster being like 30, like 31 or some shit. Remember the old people conversation. Also, remember that conversation when you're 30 and how young you feel at 30. Because 30 is not old. No matter what the motherfuckers tell you on the internet, Brett, 30 is not old.
Hey, I'll be waking up with back pain. I don't know about that. They might be onto something.
I'm 25 and I wake up with back pain. Back pain is goddamn universal.
It's a little different. It's a little different.
There's goddamn young women that got back pain. Back pain it can hit you at any point in time.
Well, it hit me at 30, so
it hit me at goddamn 18. So what's happening? Back pain is universal. And then and then also remember is that they're saying that all these people are, 30 years old and they only bring it up for NXT. And then you look at Kenny Omega, the Young Bucks, you look at the Elite. I think Brandon Cutler might be the youngest dude there. And that's just a guess. Don't make me look up his age and find out he like 29 or some shit.
Brandon Cutler? Brandon Cutler's old. He grew up with them dudes. Sorry,
the top of the card is full of 30-year-olds, and the conversation is only being used for WWE. Like, come on, guys.
I'm gonna put it this way: that whole main event era, that whole main event section of AEW outside of like Darby, I watched all those guys when I was in high school.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like, I watched all those guys.
Like, it's really nuts how the conversation has been going, and I've been seeing bits and pieces of it. People are fear mongering. They're all doom and gloom. What is it? The report that came out earlier today, where NXT backstage, they're not smiling and cheering. They're not having a musical setting up the show. Yeah, niggas just got fired. Like, what do you want niggas to say? Like, when my homies got fired from the job, I think it was 2018. They got fired. Let me tell you, I wasn't happy either. I was like, damn, my niggas just got fired. Right. That sucks. And then I went to work.
Niggas got bills, man.
Like it definitely does suck that your friends get fired, but I think that just being a report, because like as a fan, what are you supposed to do with that information? People backstage at NXT have frowns on their faces. What are you supposed to do with that information? I know a lot of niggas not happy about working right now.
I look at it this way, right? If I am a fan, I probably said this on the podcast. I don't know. I say a lot. Mm-hmm. So like, if I'm a fan of the Dallas Cowboys and the third string right tackle gets released, and maybe he was cool with everybody on the roster, so you know what I mean? Like, how did that affect my day? It didn't it's not like the what's the homeboy's name, the quarterback for the Cowboys? I can't even think of a damn name. Light skinned nigga, whatever his name is. It's not like he got released.
Yeah, and like
you know what I mean? It's like I don't want to say who. I'm not saying who cares to like people losing their jobs. Like I said, I'm very I understand what time we're living in.
It absolutely fucking sucks. And I think the person that I was just like, oh no, was Leon Ruff.
Yeah, that one.
But Leon Ruff wasn't really featured on the show.
He'd been off TV for like a month. He was just doing 205 live.
And I remember when I saw his name got released, I was just like, oh no, this motherfucker got a wedding to pay for.
Yeah, you know what I mean.
Like that sucks.
Thankfully, wifey's still there though. Thankfully,
yeah,
you know what I mean.
But looking at that, I can that sucks because he has a wedding that he wants to pay for, and he got the WWE bag, and he was just like, oh, I can have a really nice wedding. That's something I'm concerned with, but I'm not going to use that to be like, oh, is NXT dead? Oh, doom and gloom. I was just like, that sucks.
Yeah,
I definitely think that a lot of people are I'm not gonna use this release as a narrative to be, just kind of just say all sorts of shit online right now. And it sucks. But, I definitely think the people that are reporting it and saying all this stuff online are even worse.
Wrestling fans, I just want y'all, you know what I mean? Take a day off. Everybody go outside, wear your mask, and just, enjoy life, man. You don't have to be doom and gloom about professional wrestling. These, like I said on Twitter earlier today, these are men and women dressed up in superhero costumes, fake fighting. Like, you know what I mean? Just enjoy the day. This is I don't know.
But what's crazy is that like a lot of these people will bounce back. I think this is much different from the releases last year because they had nowhere to go.
Yeah, the indies are about to thrive. If you really think about it, a lot of names are going to be out there now that weren't,
Indies
a
back.
lot of names. Indies might be back low key. Like, it's already moving. You see the noise GCW's making. I don't really watch their content, but like they got their show. They're moving.
Look at Asher Hale, bro. He's a GCW guy.
I'm gonna be honest. I don't even know who Asher Hale is.
He's the dude that kind of looks like Darby Allin.
Yeah, I see it. Okay.
He just has better ring attire. He not wearing Daisy Dukes.
Little Daisy Duke with some leggings.
Yeah.
That nigga, bro.
Oh, he ain't right.
Oh, yeah.
And I think a lot of people just decided that they were not going to report on that because of WWE releases, which I think is very fucked up. But I think we could finally get into NXT, man. I said my piece.
Me too. But before we go, I don't want to upset any Cowboys fans. It's Dak Prescott. I couldn't think of his name. I kept wanting to call him Deshaun Watson, who's another light skinned nigga. But we don't talk about Deshaun Watson because that man is a nasty, nasty man. But yeah, let's get into NXT.
All right, let's get into this corpse of a show.
Oh, he's here for their big date. I'll get it. Hello, Dexter. Come on in.
All right, man. Like I said earlier, I was recording with the boys on the Black Variant. Please check out the episode this week and also go check out Suicide Squad. So I missed kind of like the first 15 minutes of the show, but I did see Saray versus Dakota Kai. How was the match? And I saw Raquel Gonzalez come in, but I didn't I had it on mute, so I didn't know what she said. And I think I can assume what she said.
So I like the match. The last third of it, I felt like there wasn't much selling. They were just hitting moves and then going to the next move and then going to the next move. A lot of drop kicks and getting right back up. Saray hit that little lower bottom rope drop kick shit, and Dakota Kai got right up in like 2 seconds, and then hit her with a little axe kick, and then Saray got right back up, and then somehow Saray got in the corner, and somehow Dakota came around, hit her with the running boot to end the match. And I was like, whoa, there was literally no selling that just happened. Right there. It was just move. Like they had somewhere to be.
Hey, Dakota Kai thought she was back in Stardom, man. Back in Japan. We just gonna start swinging. Yeah, hashtag fighting spirit. And then I saw Raquel Gonzalez come out, and I assume she just said, you can run for me forever, but I take over, I'm gonna kick your ass. Like something like that.
Yeah, that's it. You pretty much got it.
You see, wrestling could be also simple. No, you ain't gotta call her an incel. You ain't gotta reference Greek mythology. Bitch, I'm gonna kick your ass, man.
I'm a fan of calling people incels, though.
I'm not. What can we talk about next? Okay, Adam Cole, and Kyle O'Reilly are gonna be in a 3 Stages of Hell match. I think that's gonna be cool. I think Kyle O'Reilly a lame ass nigga, man.
I was just gonna say that, bro. That nigga is so lame,
This guy
bro.
is lame. Also, shout out to X over at the Black Variant. He
What'd he
brought up
say?
a very interesting point. Kyle O'Reilly, I think like last month, he was talking to Wade Barrett, being like, losing's okay. It's cool to lose every now and then. And then Adam Cole barred him up respectfully on the same night. And then on this promo, he says, that loss haunted me. That boy was in deep denial over that loss. That boy was just like, no, I'm fine.
He had some self reflection. He was like, you know
Yeah.
what? I'm not okay, man.
Yeah. He was like, nah, that shit ain't sitting right with me. So for the stipulation that he chooses is just a regular ass match because
Oh.
it just that loss at Great American Bash just didn't sit well with him, and he didn't need any gimmicks to beat Kyle O'Reilly, I guess. And I like how I like Adam Cole hearing just a regular ass. He was like, for real, really?
Right.
Yeah, and then Adam Cole chooses a street fight.
Be a real nigga.
Yeah, that's fine. There needed to be something here, like something in stream here, and then they get into a brawl, and once again, Adam Cole destroys Kyle. They need to stop doing that. They need to stop having Cole come out here killing folks. It just ain't right. And then they brawl, and then William Regal says for the third stipulation, if it goes to a third fall, it'll be a steel cage match. Which,
you know what? You know what? You know what I don't like. I mean, I like it. I guess it's fine, but this is like the same exact stipulations they did for Austin and Triple H in the first 3 stages of hell.
Isn't this the same set of stipulations that they did for Tommaso Ciampa and Johnny Gargano?
I believe so. Yeah, I think that's just their staple of just 3 stages of hell. There's no other variation of this match. It seems like single match, street fight, steel cage.
Hey, here's like all these stipulations we have. We're just gonna use these 3. It's kind of ass, but it is what it is. Should be a banger. Oh, excuse me.
What's the over under on time for this match? What are we thinking?
I'm gonna go less than 30.
You think it go less than 30?
It's going less than 30.
All right.
Odyssey Jones defeats Trey Baxter in the breakout tournament that finally has a bracket, and he'll be going into the finals, and we'll see how that match goes. Duke Hudson and Carmelo Hay will be facing, I think, next week to determine who's going to be in the finals. And then it's going to be Odyssey Jones versus whoever of the two. Should be cool. How'd you feel about the match though? I was just like the still to this day the breakout tournament stuff is just like whatever to
me. I mean, low key it was a squash. I looked at my phone and then I looked up and the match was just kind of over. It was definitely a showcase for Odyssey Jones, not so much Trey Baxter.
Yeah, and
I have a strong feeling that similar to the first breakout tournament, a lot of these guys are going to debut and they're going to disappear for a while and then come back with a whole new gimmick.
Yeah,
I think that's what's going to happen with a lot
that is perfect. That is perfectly fine with me because a lot of these motherfuckers are plain Janes.
Yeah. However, I do think Odyssey Jones, he's special, man. I see the vision.
I don't.
You don't see it? No. He's already over. I mean, I'm never not gonna pop for an athletic big man. I like him. I like his look. What about him you not feeling?
It's not him. It's the breakout tournament.
But yeah, no, that's
the way that I'm sorry that I kind of harp on this every week, but like still it feels very hastily put together. And it's not really giving me this is not the showcase of guys that I thought it would be, especially like because for the first breakout tournament, they kind of had time for it on the show.
Mm-hmm.
But like here, we have multiple feuds right now. Like a lot of like cool and hot things that are happening right now. they could have slapped this on like for the goddamn War Games build or some shit while everybody's like, while everybody's in their team sports vibe.
Yeah.
This is where they could have like, kind of filtered some things in, and then just motherfuckers just what is it? There's no bracket, so I couldn't really like do any predictions and shit like that.
Cyrus, there was a bracket after like the second match. You keep saying there was no bracket.
There was no fucking bracket.
There
bro.
was a bracket, bro.
I follow a lot of WWE social media accounts, and I ain't seen no fucking bracket, man. Stop lying to me.
I promise there was a bracket.
And you know what? And you know what? If there was a bracket, you ain't never sent me a bracket.
I didn't send you one. I think I did.
You did not.
That might.
No,
be
you
capped.
did not.
It's fine.
You didn't send me no goddamn.
You know what? The past is the past is the past. It doesn't even matter anymore. We're already at the finals.
Whatever. Eat an ass. And then for our last big thing on the show, we got Pete Dunne versus Ilya Dragunov, who cut really great promos throughout this whole show. Like it sucks that he has to go back to the UK, man. Because I would love to keep him around.
Yeah. First off the rip, Fit Watch. I need an ID on the pants that Pete Dunne was wearing tonight because them shit was hard. You can't go, and the UK boys, they like to get dressed. They like to get dressed up. I ain't even mad at it.
Tyler Bate, the freak man fashion show, bro.
Hey.
Hold on, let me see if I can find the outfit he was wearing, bro.
I need the ID on the pants. So if anybody knows, what pants my man's is wearing, let me know. I'm gonna hit him up on Twitter. But as for
if he responds,
as for the match, they were hitting hard, man. I don't expect less from Ilja Dragunov. I know I'm not sure how much you watch of NXT UK or how much our listeners watch NXT UK, but look, if you haven't seen Dragunov wrestle yet, like for real, you're in for a treat. That boy, he can go, and like, yeah, I had not seen a miss from him in a long time.
I haven't either. I've been keeping up with his because I was just like, I didn't want to just be like, it was like the Walter effect. Like I need to see if he's like this, all the time, like on 10 all the time, and
all the time.
He's on 10 all the goddamn time. And
mind you, NXT UK not in front of a crowd, and it hasn't been in front of a crowd for a long time. He's still going 110% every time with no crowd, bro.
That's the dedication I love. So
he's here for the sport. He ain't. Also, you know what I mean?
I forgot. WWE just randomly posted, "Hey, here's Ilya Dragunov versus Finn Balor." I was like, "Huh?"
That was that was the first. Wasn't that the first takeover? The first UK takeover? No, that was Worlds Collide, wasn't it?
I don't remember, but I did watch the match again, and I was just like, "Oh, this match hard."
I think that was Worlds Collide, if I'm not mistaken.
I miss Worlds Collide. I really did like Worlds Collide.
Run that back. Yeah, that was Worlds Collide 2020. That was literally that's crazy. That was last year. We don't even remember that.
A lot of things happened last year. Let me tell you.
That was January 2020. That's crazy.
Jesus Christ. But yeah, I really hope we get another Worlds Collide. But this match, if you like your graps, you feel me? You gonna get it here. These boys was grappling, and then after the commercial break, they said, "Yeah, let's get into it." It just started slugging.
Let's turn it up.
They was beating the shit out of each other out there. Two quote unquote vanilla midgets going crazy.
You feel me?
It was a really nice match. I liked it a lot. And then I was looking at the time, and I was just like, we gonna get a clean finish here? What's going on? Like I'm like expecting to run in. I'm expecting some sort of like fuck finish because I do think that both these guys need momentum going forward.
Yeah.
And then to my surprise, Pete Dunne gets the win. Clean. Well, not clean, but
not clean.
Definitive to say a little
shenanigans.
Little shenanigans. Not there was no run-in from his gang, which is what I was expecting. It was kind of just like a weird distraction finish. Walter comes out, and then Ilya Dragunov is kind of just like, throwing it back. Whoa. I thought the match. Yeah, I thought I thought the match was really, really good. The match was great. the post match, I'm just like, what are you guys doing here? Because since Isla Dragunov already got he already got the loss, so I was just thinking that they're gonna really play up this underdog shit, and then like just have Walter just beat the dog, like just beat the shit out of him. And then Isla Dragunov kind of just gets up and then kicks Walter in the head, and I was just like, what? Pete Dunne just not the shit.
There was no selling tonight, man. I'm telling you right now. Nobody was selling shit. Fuck it. We got places to be.
I thought that was so weird. But it is I thought it was a good match nonetheless. It was really, really great. Takeover is gonna be in 2 weeks. We get the whole go home show next week, and then I think we will do our predictions, and that should be fun. Quick hits. A rematch, LA Knight versus Cameron Grimes at Takeover 36. If Grimes loses, LA Knight gets a second Butler in Ted DiBiase, and I thought that's a fucking hilarious stipulation. But I think this is the time where Cameron Grimes gets the dub. Third time the charm.
Yeah, for sure.
And normally, what is it? Normally, when they do the big stipulation to regular match, it's kind of just like, wait, what? For why?
Yeah.
But I definitely think that for this feud, the emotion has been brewing. So I guess it kind of warrants it. And should be a cool match.
Do you think this is LA Knight's kind of last run in NXT? Because if we're talking about they want to kind of get all the older guys out, I don't know if you know this or not, but he's like 38.
That's fine. Hey man, I always thought he was a Raw dude anyway.
I feel like he's one of those. I'm shocked he hasn't had a dark match yet on main event or something.
We'll see what. Hey man, never say never.
Good song.
I mean, just let him do his thing. Because it would always surprise us to see what happens, and I hate doing the, oh damn, do they get called up? After like the first loss or anything, because like there's so much he can really do in NXT, and it's just in terms of what. But if we want to hold WWE to their word or whatever
Rumors.
this rumor is, whoever's spreading that bullshit, we'll see him have a dark match relatively soon. We'll see what happens. Gigi Dolan has a video package, and I would dub this as her official debut.
Yeah, this is the real deal debut. And they gave her a little promo. They gave her a squash match.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting timing. You know what I mean? If you know, you know.
Very interesting timing. I think we'll talk about it a little more tomorrow when we do the AEW joint.
We can talk about it.
Yeah. So it was cool. My thing is that where's Mandy Rose?
Sent a little tweet out.
Yeah, she was just like, "Oh, I was watching from home. What are you doing over there?"
Chilling, man. She takes PTO.
No, I was like, "Hey, what are you doing?" I like Mandy Rose. I think she is. The work that she's done with Dana Brooke hasn't been like my most favorite, and I think that Dana Brooke was definitely bringing her down. But I do think she is a solid performer that definitely has legs to grow. So I would like to see her get active on it relatively soon. I think after Takeover, because that's the real universal reset. So we'll see what happens. I didn't put it on the docket. I forgot, but Indy Hartwell and Dexter Lumis goes on a date. It was I don't like that.
Wasn't feeling it. Should have been you.
It should have been me. When she was eating the cake off his face, bruh.
Hate to see it.
But I thought the segments were really great and funny. Where does the way go from here? I don't know.
Bro, I think the way is done, bro. I think it seems like Austin Theory is all but called up at this point.
Oh, we said that about Reed, so let's slow
This
it
is
down.
true. Well, okay, let's not say called up. He's not on NXT anymore. I don't know where he's going to be. It might be in Jacksonville. It might be in New York. I don't know. It'll be somewhere. But it ain't in CWC. I know that much.
We'll see what happens. Oh, also, more missing people. Ember Moon was supposed to be facing Saray this week, and she didn't. So, we'll see what happens. We've heard some things, but I don't think it's anything that we could really confirm or say. So,
and Lord knows by tomorrow we might know. So, tomorrow night we just might know. I don't know.
Yeah, man. Boa has a more or less I don't want to call it a squash. I'll say more of an exhibition versus what is it, Drake Maverick, and then Mei Ling rises, and the CWC was just like, whoa! I was just like, come on, fellas, I hate y'all stupid as hell. Mei Ling blows the pack in Drake Maverick's face. He doesn't pass out instantly, so he got some iron lungs.
Feel me?
And then Boa gets the win. I think it's time for him to actually he got to do something, man.
He got it now because it don't seem like Xia Li's there anymore. She's up and disappeared with no explanation. So
he got to lay a body down like she did. He got big shoes to fill. Because Xia Li was a very nice performer. But yeah, she is not here on the show. Anything else to say about NXT?
MSK and had a little promo kind of countering what Imperium did last week. It seems like that's the plan. That match next week?
Yes, that match is happening next week. Roderick Strong versus Kushida will also be happening next week. And there was a third thing. Oh, shit.
There's another match next week. I can't even think of it right now.
I know Samoa Joe and Karrion Kross are going to have a face-off next week.
Right now. Hold on. I'm gonna tell you right now. Hold on.
I didn't want you to look it up because that means there's gonna be some small silence in between.
Talk, nigga. Hold on, I'm gonna tell you right now. Timothy Thatcher versus Rich Holland.
Okay, cool.
And Carmelo Hayes versus Duke Hudson. So a pretty stacked episode of NXT next week. I'm actually excited.
This bloated corpse, giving us some shit. That's great. We'll see what happens next. And I think with that said, we can get into AEW unless something outrageous happens next week. You're gonna hear a siren right after this and be like, "Oh shit, breaking news!"
Whoa!
All right, Friday night, live on TNT, and in this building, you will defend your women's world title against a lady who is on the rise. You got to admit that in red velvet.
I really can't comment on her rise because honestly it wouldn't be fair because I can't relate. I've always been at the top of AEW. I've always been the face of this division, and I've always been the baddest bitch on the block.
All right, so nothing big happened today, so we ain't got to blare the sirens for any breaking news or anything like that. So we get right into AEW. We get Matt Sydal, the Sydal brothers with Dante Martin versus the Elite. I thought this match was pretty cool, but it's kind of that thing that AEW always does, where you have a 6-man and these dudes show out, and then they're on ice for the rest of the whenever they plan on using them again, really. So Dante Martin and Sydal brothers are going to take all this momentum, or what's left of their momentum in this at the end of the match, and just take it to Elevation and Dark.
So with the inclusion of Rampage coming up, I hope this show starts showcasing some more of these kind of guys, these Seidels, these Dante Martin. It's interesting with Dante Martin though, because like he's in a tag team, but his partner's still kind of hurt. So like, are they like the reasoning for highlighting Dante? I mean, that boy can fly. I'll tell you that much.
I definitely thought it was weird. I definitely thought it was weird when they showed like the top flight graphic, and I was just like, oh, he's good, right? And then he like, I was like, well, where's his partner, bro?
Yeah, and, I'm not sure what happened to his brother, but he's been out for a minute.
Yeah, so hopefully he comes back. And honestly, shit, this is why I'm just like, they're just using them for the time being, because this is the Elite versus these guys is like very, very random. And they kind of allude that the Saito brothers might be facing the Young Bucks in the future, but we'll see what goes on from there. So, the Elite win, of course, and then Christian comes out in commercial break. So for 3 minutes, we have to sit on our hands. They have to sit on their hands, and then we'll come back and finish the rest of the segment, which I thought was just like, what do you? Y'all dumb as hell.
That was some Raw pacing. That's something you would see on Raw. I don't like that. I didn't like that either. It was weird. Just because they've never done that before. I'd never seen that before.
Yeah, I thought that was super duper weird. But basically, all the information that we're told here is that Kenny Omega and Christian will be facing each other at All Out for the AEW the AEW title. And then at the Rampage this Friday, which we'll be covering next week, he'll be facing Kenny Omega for the Impact title. So my idea is that we have Christian win the Impact title, and then just have him lose the AEW.
Because my thought was it could be like some kind of loophole where like Christian wins the Impact title, and then Kenny somehow like, well, then you won that, you don't get the match at All Out, and then that's how we get Hangman back in this. I don't know.
But
I don't believe there was any mention of even Hangman tonight. Was there?
There was one mention. The Young Bucks were making fun of him.
Okay,
but like Hangman hasn't been shown since y'all beat him, so it was just kind of just beating a dead horse. But maybe they might do something like that. But the reason why I say that Christian should win here, because if he loses the Impact title, the title match, what the fuck I give a fuck if he I have no faith in him going into All Out.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it depends on how he loses the match. No, if it's a whole bunch of shenanigans, with Kenny.
But like still, because if there's gonna be a whole bunch of shenanigans at Rampage, then like what's gonna stop the shenanigans at All Out unless they like do some a steel cage match, probably something like that,
or just have Tony Khan ban everybody from ringside. They could do that. But,
when has that ever worked? That has never worked. That has never ever worked. Also, it's just like, oh, I'm gonna ban the Bucks from ringside. Here comes fucking the Good Brothers.
Brandon Cutler.
Yeah, or Nakazawa or some shit like that. So it's not gonna work with a person that normally has 6 people by his side every match. So I don't know. Honestly, I think he should win the Impact title. I think it'd be cool for Impact. He could go back over there and just do his thing. And then we could possibly get Christian versus Jay White, maybe. I don't know. I heard Jay White wasn't really racking up no wins over there, so they really just wasted my man's time because he can't go back to Japan. And then at the end of the segment, after everybody music plays, whoa, I spoke to Tony Khan too, says Jungle Boy, and says we'll be facing the Bucks at Rampage this Friday.
I thought that was at Dynamite next week, wasn't it?
No, it's at Rampage.
It's Rampage? Okay.
Because they said that at the end of the show, there's going to be 3 title matches, and it's going to be Christian Omega.
Oh, the women's match? Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Got it.
So, yeah, and then that happened, and then Kenny Omega felt the need to get the last word, so he was just like, cut the music, and then just started like rambling, and I was just like, that's weird. And then yeah.
Not Cyrus. I'm pretty sure the tag title match is on Dynamite because the other title match on Rampage is Miro versus Fuego del Sol.
That's This is why we pay you the big bucks, bro. So yeah,
Either way,
they're gonna have a match eventually, and I don't know. I really don't see anybody taking these belts away from them because once again, for 2 years now, I can't see what the hell the Bucks are gonna do without these tag titles. I can't see what Kenny Omega is gonna do without the championship. Because I said this about Moxley. I don't know what he's gonna do when he doesn't have the championship anymore, and it turns out fucking nothing.
he ain't really doing much. He's around.
He ain't doing shit.
I think he was on Dark. I think he's on Dark this week.
And
if
then
I'm not mistaken.
And then Eddie Kingston's not doing anything by proxy. But
he's got commentary now. He's Elevation commentary or Dark commentary.
The projects. We get our fourth labor of Jericho. We get Wardlow versus Jericho. This match is like mid. This match is nothing.
It was very much a TV match. It didn't feel like a big main event, big feel.
It didn't even feel. I don't even think it was good for a TV match standard. And like, it was just Wardlow trying to be goddamn Lesnar as usual, and Jericho just like buying his time until the shenanigans come.
It was a 2000 Rock match.
Yeah,
that makes sense. He got his ass whooped for about 90% of the match, and then at the end made a little comeback. There's some interference, a little razzle dazzle at the end, but in the end, Jericho still won.
Yeah, and Jericho cheats to win once again. I think it's safe to say this labor of Jericho shit sucks, man. It's been terrible match after terrible match. Shawn Spears, the Nick Gage.
The Nick Gage match wasn't terrible.
Okay. The match with Juicio Guerrera. I thought the match was okay at the final stretch, but that first 5 minutes of it was like just ugh. Well, that match wasn't that bad. I'll say that. That's probably the match that I will pardon. If I had to pardon any of these matches, it'd probably be that one.
Yeah.
And then the Wardlow match was just kind of just Wardlow jobbing out for an MJF instead once again. And then for our fifth labor, oh man, surely stacking the odds against Jericho. Jericho cannot come. It's a no Judas match. So Jericho will come out to silence to really hurt his mental. And then Jericho can't use one of his 3 finishers against MJF. Oh man, really stacked the odds against them. Holy moly. What the fuck is this shit, man?
I don't know, man. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm over Jericho, man.
I'm over the MJF. I'm over MJF. I'm over the Jericho. I'm over the Elite. There's just a lot of things on the show that has been very repetitive, and I wish it would change. And it doesn't change post pay-per-views either.
Yeah, we've been on this for a long time. I guess some people prefer the quote unquote long-term storytelling in this, but sometimes they be dragging it, bro. We can, you know what I mean?
Hey man,
wrap this up.
Maybe it's for the best that a lot of these things don't go long because they get repetitive. But that is it for all the big topics on AEW. Honestly, there's not really much to talk about outside of that. We're gonna watch Rampage, of course, and we'll cover it next week. And then for quick hits, we got Darby Allin versus Daniel Garcia. I think Daniel Garcia is pretty cool.
I like him so far from what I've seen.
Big turnaround from last week. I thought the last week I thought the match was fine. Honestly, yeah.
I think AEW needs a guy like Daniel Garcia. Mm-hmm. They don't have a lot of besides him and Angelico. There's no real quote unquote mat technicians in that company. Yeah. And I think that's a good variety for them. And I think he's gonna stand out because of it.
AEW finally getting a goddamn technician wrestler 2 years in, kind of wild, but I thought this match was really cool. My only thing is that what is it? 2.0. They kind of lame, man. They gotta stay away. They gotta stay away from my dog, bro. I'm really fucking with them, and these two dudes ruining it. I mean, goddamn lame.
2.0.
These lame. But I believe they'll be having a match. 2.0 will be having a match against Darby Allin and Sting next week, so that should be cool. The 6-man with the best friends and the Hardy front office. AEW just filling the quota of having a very bloated segment for the week.
Hardy family got a new nigga every week, bro. They got like 20 dudes in that fucking stable.
And
crazy.
and they all came out for this one. Honestly, shit, I thought Matt Hardy was gonna offer Nyla Rose and what is it, Vicky Guerrero a spot.
Might as well.
Just get everybody that's being not used. Just have the whole Elevation roster on. And then a part of the 6-man tag.
You know what?
For office wins.
While we're here, I want to have a discussion about Wheeler Yuta, because I'm seeing a lot of talk.
A lot of cap.
This is the guy. So any listeners, please talk to me and tell me, give me a match or something to show me like what this dude's about, because from what I've seen so far, based off of what I've seen him on, a Dark or Dynamite, it's a guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like
he's just a guy.
It's a guy. And I saw like a report, I think it was from Fightful, talking about how like NXT like turned down signing him or something like that. And it was like due to their philosophy. But I'm like, I think it might have been J5 said it in the Discord with us, but like NXT has 20 guys like Wheeler Yuta. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's bad Wheeler Yutas in NXT already.
Wheeler Yuta is a mid-card dude on NXT, and we know that the NXT mid-card is bloated, and everybody is saying that like, oh, like Wheeler Yuta is like it, man, he's the truth or whatever. This nigga's on a losing streak on Dynamite, bro. If Tony Khan not seeing it,
but that's the thing. I guess Tony Khan was on Busted Open Radio either today or yesterday or something like that. He said he wants to get Wheeler Yuta on the show more, so it seems like he's gonna be a staple on the show going forward. But I mean, he got to prove something to me, because you can keep telling me that he's that dude, but I gotta see it, bro.
You know how it goes. Twitter goes, oh man, WWE really missed out, and then Tony Khan be like, oh yeah, I'm gonna just play up to that narrative. Hey, look at, and if you think I'm wrong, look at Tay Conti.
Where's she at?
Nowhere to be found. The Matt Hardy front office wins, and then during the match, Nyla Rose jumps Chris Statlander from the back, and then they have a match right after, and the match goes for goddamn 3 minutes.
I don't even know.
Probably. The match was not long, and I hate that they had like they were gassing the shit out of like Nyla, like former champion, super strong, but isn't that gets mopped real quick. And then Chris Statlander is more or less the number one contender after Britt Baker, unless something happens in the next couple of weeks where they just backtrack that. The homecoming for Britt Baker happens, and it was like goddamn Kurt Angle was in the building, big. A goddamn American hero stepped into the motherfucker, bro. They went ape shit for Britt Baker.
You know what? She deserves it, man. She worked hard this last year. I'm not even look. They had the towels out. That she's the star of the show.
She is the true face of AEW. And I think it sucks for Red Velvet, because she's more or less supposed to be the baby face here. But at the sheer mention of Red Velvet, the arena just boos loudly.
I'd have to imagine Tony Khan and everybody involved knew that going in. Like, look,
oh yeah,
we know Red Velvet about to get booed out the fucking building. There's nothing you can really do.
I think
You got to put her on the card. So
I think that they should have had Nyla Rose be the opponent for this one because they don't have a problem doing Nyla Rose.
It's Red Velvet, though. Who cares?
I'm trying to care. That's the thing right now. I'm trying to care.
You know why I don't care about Red Velvet? Because AEW hasn't given me a reason to fucking care about Red Velvet because she hasn't been on Dynamite in about, I don't know, 2 months. Lord knows.
she hasn't been
the Shaq match. I don't even think
she hasn't
the Shaq match.
She hasn't been on since the Shaq match, and she's been like, I'm racking up wins on Elevation and Dark, and it's just like shit. Everybody does. I didn't put it on the docket because I forgot. We had Camille Brickhouse just talk about Layla Hirsch. Hey man, let's get this match out of the way, man. There ain't no way in hell Layla Hirsch beating her. That is the real David versus Goliath shit going on. Y'all can't convince me that Layla Hirsch about to lift her off her feet or any shit like that. But that might be the big spectacle in the match. So do you know where that match is gonna happen?
Let's see. I think it might be next week. I could be wrong though.
Because
it's not announced for next week. How Dan Lambert, who's supposed to be this week, is getting moved to next week. However, so be on the lookout for that.
Okay.
I don't see the women's match.
Okay. If you see it on Twitter or something, please link me because I will watch the match if linked.
Another thing we forgot to add onto the docket: Pac versus Andrade at All Out.
Did they say All Out? Because he kind of just said, "I'm gonna handle you."
They said All Out. Yeah, he challenged him for All Out. I didn't realize All Out was that close. I don't know why I thought it was the end of September. It's mad. It's like in 3 weeks.
Yeah. Oh, it's not next week.
No, All Out's like in 3 weeks.
Oh shit, it's in 3 weeks. Okay, yeah.
The first dance is next week.
Oh, okay.
That, so something might happen. Something might happen. We'll see.
Yeah.
Can you imagine if Punk doesn't come out on that show?
If they started rioting, I'd kind of understand. I would kind of understand.
They open up the building for this show. If there's no reason they would not book Chicago for this show. If
Punk is not there, if y'all were to riot, like sports fan riot, I'd believe it because AEW has put that problem on themselves.
Yes, they have not denied any rumors. They are very much fanning the flames of any rumor involving Punk or Bryan.
Whenever a segment gets hijacked with CM Punk chants and shit like that, that's your issue. Because y'all didn't have it before until y'all tried to counteract the John Cena shit. So it is what it is. There is like how the hell because when they mentioned Kenny Omega versus Christian at All Out, the arena was like swarming with CM Punk chants, right? How the hell Christian gonna get out of this? Like how the hell they gonna boot Christian out for CM Punk?
You think they get there?
I hope not.
I don't think they should put Punk immediately the title match off the rip. But then again, who does Punk wrestle?
Yeah, otherwise? Like Punk not wrestling is gonna be a big he should wrestle on that show.
All Out, he's definitely wrestling All Out. There's no way they're gonna have a show in Chicago and he's on the roster. He's not wrestling. He definitely wrestling. I don't know. I don't know who he's wrestling, but he's wrestling.
I see a lot of Darby Allin rumors or whatever. Sure,
I'd like that.
Sure, fine. Get that motherfucker out of here. And then to end off quick hits, we have. I thought this was like terrible because the arena gave their hearts and souls for Britt Baker, and then you pump out the Good Brothers and Dark Order, and the crowd said, "Yeah, I'm gonna go to the bathroom."
I was on my phone the whole match. I ain't gonna hold you. Couldn't tell you what happened.
Oh, well, I can tell you what happened. A whole bunch of shenanigans. The Bullet Club Hunter comes out, beats up the Elite Water Boy because he can't get his hands on anybody else. And then the match kind of just ends. There was no way in hell I thought Dark Order was gonna win. And then for some reason, this is I'm glad that they didn't put MJF on commentary because this is for that match. That was the second time they had a 4-man booth. And I'm just like, just because this person is affiliated with this person does not mean they need to be on commentary. Because Don Callis was stinking it up at the start of the show.
See, I missed like the first 10 minutes of the show, so I didn't get to hear it. But hey, if you're tired of the 4-man booth now, just wait till Friday when we get more 4-man booth.
Yeah. Yeah, the 4-man booth is going to be the whole goddamn show.
From what Tony Khan said, he said that it's not going to be permanent. It's just for that first episode at least.
I think it's really weird that Jericho's there. Go home and rest. You have a labor to rest for. Not that the challenge is really hard, but you know.
Well, while we're on Rampage, do we want to do some quick predictions real quick for the 3 title matches?
Yeah, sure.
Let's do it. All right. First things first. Christian, Kenny Omega, Impact Championship. We kind of discussed it earlier, but
I'm gonna go with Christian.
You going Christian? I am also going to go Christian. I think I could see him doing a deal with Impact. Yeah. Impact could use it. Yeah, I'm absolutely on board for Christian winning the Impact Championship. Kenny don't need it. Get that belt off of him.
He don't need any of the belts he has.
Next up, Fuego del Sol versus Miro. If Fuego del Sol wins the championship, he also gets a contract with AEW.
That is so fucked up to dangle that carrot on his face like that.
I think they're gonna give him the chance. They're gonna have him win. If it's a feel good moment, you know they love that. And plus, if they're gonna keep bringing him on the road, they might as well sign him. You know what I mean?
That don't sit right with me.
Why not?
How you gonna give this nigga the TNT championship and not Phoenix?
Yo, they're just giving it to whoever. It's been
not Pop.
Miro's
not
been
Pentagon.
Miro just called the dudes out.
There is a lot of motherfuckers I'd rather give that championship to. And if they're gonna give it to him because they dangled the carrot of a contract in his face, I think that's very dog.
But
low key, leave.
But low key, look at the storyline. Miro been wrestling, quote unquote bums the last couple. We wrestled Lee Johnson last week. Like
who's Del Sol or whatever. He a bum too. I don't know.
That's what I'm talking about. So I think that's kind of the storyline. Is like Rusev kind of fucking with the young guys or whatever. But I think Fuego might sneak a win. I think this is it. I think Miro gets it back fast. I don't think it's gonna be a long reign for Fuego. I think Miro gets that shit right back. But I think it's what happens. Get a pop from the crowd.
That nigga wins.
Fuego's over, man.
On what show?
All of it on the vlogs, on Dark.
Those don't sound like shows to me.
Look, I'm telling you, I'm talking from a AEW sexual standpoint.
And that is it for the rest of our show.
No, I got one more. Hold on. Main event of Rampage. Britt Baker, Red Velvet. Who we got winning? I think it's obvious, but
Britt Baker, man.
All right,
they no way in hell.
Britt Baker, it is.
Also another quick hit that I really wanted to talk about, really quick. Tony Schiavone gets his kid beat up and he apologizes like a hoe, and then Paul Wright comes out. If you're gonna give me a Paul Wright versus QT Marshall feud, I might burn the building down. Don't do that. Don't do this. Tony Khan, please don't do this.
Don't do that.
I can't wait to. I cannot wait to see AEW marks go up for this feud.
They will too.
This is absolutely not embarrassing. But yeah, that is it for AEW, and that is it for us. We'll see you guys next week where we'll talk about AEW Dynamite, NXT, Rampage. and AEW Rampage as well.
Real quick before you do the outro. I know niggas said NXT is dead. They had, I don't like talking about ratings on the show, but they had about like 750K people watching the show. So I don't know.
I
Tell
scrolled
me.
on I scrolled on Twitter when it was linked in the chat, and I saw people going, "Well, they're up, but it doesn't matter." And I was just like, "What do you mean? I thought it was dead, ass face."
Yeah, I heard it was dead. I don't know. Y'all tell me.
And NXT is dead, but it's better than they improved massively in the numbers, and it was just like suddenly ratings don't matter.
Mm-hmm.
I hate the AEW fan base, bro.
Mm.
It's fucking nuts. You can follow Quan on Twitter at the Comeback Spot. You can follow the A Show Network to keep up with all the shows that we do at the A Show RNC. You can subscribe on Patreon at patreon.com/the A Show RNC. We have shows on the Patreon like Spot Callers, Evasion Diaries, which you can watch in both. You can binge all of it. I think 8 episodes, just talking about the evasion angle of 2001.
Neil said the SummerSlam episode will be on the free feed coming out, so you can listen to. If you're not on the Patreon, you want a preview of what Evasion Diaries is all about, which I highly suggest you join the Patreon and listen to Evasion Diaries because it's a fantastic series of podcasts. But it can be free on the free feed. On top of that, 200's coming up. Show 200. So
A Show is 200
stuff coming up.
Stay locked in for that. We're also approaching our 100th episode.
Yeah.
A lot of big things.
What episode are we on right now?
This should be 94.
This is 94?
Yeah, this should be 94.
We got time. Okay, cool.
Yeah, I don't know what you mean. And then shows like Spot Callers, which is exclusively on the Patreon. We talk about shows like Lucha Underground, random WCW pay-per-views. We're going to be doing a Nick Gage Invitational 4. And then we're going to do the Stardom pay-per-view. I think, I forgot which one, but we're going to do it. The one that has the 5-star match that, Meltzer was talking about or whatever. So I don't really care what Meltzer says, but anything to talk about Stardom, I'm all for. And then I think, Legendary runs as well. We chronicle Kenny Omega's 2016, so you can listen to that. And we'll be doing The Animal.
I roam for miles inside this pit of danger.
We'll be doing Batista for our next Legendary run.
I might have to link up with y'all when y'all do the Hell in a Cell match, because that's my favorite Hell in a Cell match.
I'm not gonna let y'all know which year yet.
Oh, okay. It has to be that year. Anyway,
So stay tuned for that. That is exclusive on the Patreon. If that sounds interesting to you, just slide $5 at the Patreon and it's all yours. Sorry, no Patreon segment on the show this week. The NXT news kind of just threw us for a loop, and we'll probably just come back with some other stuff. I'm gonna forfeit my turn picking, and I'll let you go for next week. Just so it's like, consistent still.
Hey, it's cool. I gotta find a match. What you want? Give me like a area. What's up for the 90s, 2000s, current day? Give me something.
Give me a tag team match.
A tag team match. Got you. All right, I got an idea. I got a good one too. I'm so excited. Okay.
So we'll look forward to whatever Quan picks next week, because that's gonna be exclusively on Patreon, baby.
How familiar are you with All Japan?
I know it's in Japan.
I'm gonna put you on. I got you with a 90s All Japan joint.
Okay, so
it's gonna be fun.
We're gonna be talking about some 90s All Japan. So next week we'll see you guys. Have a good week.